Hello everybody, Azana is Morning Time, and welcome back to Let's Play Ace Attorney Investigations. When we last left off, we came back. I found out I had to examine that TV to advance the game, and it's really stupid. But basically, Gumshoe is now being accused of the murder, and we have to defend him. And right now we need to talk to you before we continue. So what did you want to ask me about? The current case of the murdered Kodopian embassy staff member. I've heard that people have been calling it the second KG-8 incident. Only among you law enforcement types. And what about it? I'd like for you to tell me everything you know about the original KG-8 incident. I'm afraid I can't help you. I don't know anything beyond what was reported in the papers. No, I believe you know much more, since you are directly tied to the KG-8 incident. I'd appreciate it if you'd stop with the false accusations. Baseless outbursts are useless, both inside and outside the courtroom, don't you know? I do. But I also know that I do have a leg to stand on here. You can stop making that ultra-serious face in front of me? If you could please stop laughing for just 1 second. I'm not going to make any headway like this. I'm just going to have to show her. Exactly how related to the KG-8 incident she is. Miss Yu, I believe that I have proof of your connection to the KG-8 incident. That file is your proof? Very well then. Why don't you tell me exactly how I'm related to the KG-8 incident? Your connection to the KG-8 incident is through the victim. The victim's name is CCU. You will note that she has the same last name as you. Can you really still tell me with a straight face that you are not related to this case? Sorry, but we're not related. What? Just kidding. You asked that question with such a serious look on your face. I couldn't help but... Miss Yu, I ask that you please tell me the truth. Alright, I'll tell you everything I know. As you guessed, the one who reported the smuggling activities of the Amano group was my sister CCU, as I thought. And she was killed right before she was to testify at the impending trial by Manny Kochin. Because he was tried once, was acquitted, he gets to live out the rest of his life, cushy life completely carefree. All because of a lack of evidence. No, I heard that the evidence to convict him did exist. What? I heard it from Mr. Faraday himself after Mr. Kochin's trial was over. Apparently, a man in black made off with the most important piece of evidence. And the evidence had been tampered with. Isn't it just like a criminal to do something like that? A smuggling ring being run out of the Amana group by one of its secretaries. They bailed Mr. Kochin out. Turns out, they were in league with each other all along. How big was that smuggling ring? Was it a large operation? I don't really know. Which is why I wanted to become the lead defense. On this case that people are calling the second KG-8 incident. But I haven't learned anything new at all. I was probably expecting too much, I know. You mean you think this case has nothing to do with the smuggling ring? I don't know what to think. Why did Mr. Kochin want to meet with you earlier? Actually, he came to watch the trial. Apparently, he only found out that I was the defense lawyer on this case after he'd arrived. He figured he should say hi and one other thing. Looks like he couldn't resolve anything this time either. Too bad. What's that supposed to mean? Oh boy, stop with the scary face already. I'm fine, really. I give him a good slap across the face. The way she talks about slapping him as she laughs away is kind of creepy. But it's just as Mr. Bad said. He's not related to the double murder. I asked around, and people in the gallery claimed that he was in the seat the entire time. Talk about cruel fate. Well, this is about all I know. Sorry. Guess I wasn't much help, huh? That's not true. I'm sorry I made you recall such a painful time in your life. Edgeworth, you really are too serious for your own good. You really need to learn to relax. We wouldn't want you to die of stress, would we? Thank you for the advice, but there's no need to worry. I work in my own way, and I will catch this criminal in my own way as well. You'll see. Look at you with your game face on, ready to go. I'm making no such face. Did you know? Laughter is the best medicine, Edgeworth. Don't you get tired of making such a serious face all the time? I'm charged with making sure that all the criminals of the world are found guilty. I have no need for laughter. There you go, making that face again. Oh well. I've got to get going. I still have a few loose ends I need to tie up. KG8 incident and this murder investigation. It is my belief that these two cases are related to each other somehow. Plus, that detective, Detective Gumshoe. It's obvious he's lying, even though the lie is hurting his chances. Clearly, this case is far from over. But whether or not that detective is the murderer can only be determined once I've completed my perfect investigation. Mr. Von Karma, I swear to uphold your honorable name. Or my name isn't Miles Edgeworth. He's not that honorable, my dude. Dang, I could have kept going, and god damn it. I didn't know it was gonna end there, though, so not my fault. Sir, what is to become of the trial into the Cadopian Embassy staff member's murder? Indeed, since both the suspect and the prosecutor are now dead, the case will be dismissed. In other words, the trial ends here prematurely. Ha! Looks like you'll have to wait just a bit longer for your big debut. I suppose it can't be helped. The evidence for this trial will be transferred to you in a little while. So, what do you think about the murder of the Cadopian Embassy staff member? And the murders of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Bell? What an outrageous circus it has all become. That Faraday brought it all upon himself with his naivete. An outrageous circus, right, sir? I grow weary of this topic. Edgeworth, I will have you assigned to a different case. Papa, you'll come and watch my courtroom debut next, won't you? I'll consider it. Sir, if I may please allow me to continue with my investigation. Whatever for? I know there is already a suspect in the murder of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Bell. However, there's not enough evidence to prove that it was he who committed the crime. I'd like to continue investigating in order to find the perfect proof of his guilt. The perfect proof? Don't make me laugh. A worthless person like you has no right to claim such a thing as perfection. Papa, who do you think is the real culprit behind these murders? Miles and I, we're competing to see who can find the real killer first. Plus, being able to investigate a real crime scene is a really rare opportunity. It would give us some real-life experience, wouldn't you agree? If you want to investigate this case that much, then do as you wish. Then you're allowing us to continue. In court, your top priority is to win. A solid investigation is one of the keys to winning. We have to make sure you become recognized as a first-rate prosecutor, don't we? It wouldn't be very interesting otherwise. I'm returning home now. Edgeworth, Francesca, see to it I'm not disturbed. Save for the results of your competition. Yes, yes, sir. Of course, Papa. Francesca, thank you. What are you thanking me for? Your logical layer was built on that scruffy detective's lie. That means that the competition is still on. Yes, just as you wished. I couldn't let you get off so easily. Now then, let's see how well you found the investigation from here, Miles Edgeworth. I have to do it a little higher since you're 13. I know I don't have enough information yet, so my first order of business would be to question anyone involved with this case. First, we'll enter the courtroom. Any day now, I'll be taking my rightful place behind this bench. By that time, I should already be standing here. It'd be downright disgraceful graceful if I beat you to it, wouldn't it? If that were to happen, Francesca, I'll eat my crab. It's the defense attorney's bench. I'd probably be standing on this side of the courtroom if that incident hadn't happened. What are you thinking about? Lately, the more wrinkly your face becomes, the less I'm able to read what you're thinking. Well, I never. I'll have you know I don't have a single wrinkle upon my youthful brow. This must be the judge's desk. You can tell by the gavel sitting on top. I had a dream once that I was being squashed from above by this gavel. You're such a weakling, Miles Edgeworth. You have no idea how frightening it was. Miss Yu. Oh, it's you, Edgeworth. And who are you? Wait, you were at the crime scene just now, weren't you? You should be disbarred for not knowing who I am! I'm Franziska von Kamm, and I'm about to become the successor to the family name. About to? I guess that means for now you're still just another kid. In which case, it's totally natural that I didn't know who you are. What? Why are you whipping me? Anyway, it looks like they're planning to hold the evidence a bit longer. There's one thing I can't stand, it's waiting. I'm terribly sorry, but I have a few more questions to ask you. Look at you, eyebrows scrunched with lines on your forehead? And that to ask of you. What exactly is so funny? Sorry, I'm just bad at dealing with a super serious atmosphere. Apparently they failed to teach you proper behavior at a crime scene in law school. Oh, I feel much better now. So what does you want to talk about? I'd like to inquire as to where you were at the time of the murder. We were in defendant lobby number 1 the whole time, up until we heard the gunshot. And by we, I mean Mr. Bad. If you don't believe me, feel free to ask him yourself. You were with Detective Bad? Why? We had a little something to discuss, that's all. So I take it that you are acquaintances with Detective Bad. Yeah, he was the detective in charge of the KG-8 incident. Detective Bad is also related to the incident. That's right. He was the one who was supposed to protect my sister, Cece. But you know how that turned out, don't you, Edgeworth? Miles Edgeworth, I have no idea what you two are talking about. I've heard of the KG-8 incident from Papa. But how does that case relate to you, monsieur? I don't know if I can do it any higher, I'm sorry. The victim of that case, CCU, was my little sister. You're making that super serious face again. I'm fine, really. I just make it a point to rub some more salt in his wounded pride every time I see him. The way she talks about doing that as she laughs away is kind of creepy. Oh, speaking of Mr. Bad, he and Mr. Faraday, I'd say they met up just about every single time the Yatagarasu made a move. It was practically a given that the two would meet up at every one of the crime scenes. I see. He did mention that he is in charge of the Yatagarasu investigation earlier. I should ask her what she knows about the Yatagarasu in more detail. You claim that at the time of the murder you were with Detective Bad. But don't you lawyers usually discuss the trial with your clients during a recess? We do, and that's what I was planning to do. Mr. Faraday was being rather threatening, and he dragged Mr. Rell away. After that, Mr. Bad came to lobby number 1, so we just stayed there and talked. And what did you talk with Detective Bad about? Nothing interesting. I just insulted him some. Talked about how the trial was going, and then I insulted him some more. Bloody, when she's not laughing, her mouth seemingly spews nothing but insults. Anyway, Mr. Bad and I were in the defendant lobby number 1 when the murders occurred, so I really can't tell you anything about the hallway or lobby number 2. I see. I'd like to ask you a few questions about your client, Mr. Macrel. Now, your client first claimed to be the Yatagarasu, is that correct? Yeah. Once I heard that it was the Yatagarasu that had made off with the evidence from KG-8, I began to ask Mr. Rell all sorts of questions, but to no avail. Turns out Mr. Rell was not the Yatagarasu. He had just made that up. He made it up. Mr. Rell's crime was caught on tape by the security cameras, but there's no footage of him sneaking into the Cadopian embassy itself. Hold on, for just 1 second. Then you mean to say that you knew that he was not the real Yatagarasu? And that he was just another cold-blooded killer, and you were ready to defend him? Yes, that's right. I see. So a defense lawyer is actually just someone whose worst job is to cover for criminals. That is why defense lawyers are so detestable. But they are no match for us Von Kammers. I don't believe it. You're serious? Why don't you say that face for something really worth being serious about? And Edgeworth, do you remember what I said earlier? I have my own agenda. I'm still on the hunt for leads regarding the KG-8 incident, alright? And for that, you have not a single qualm about defending a known killer. Don't put words in my mouth. I said no such thing. The only way I had to get close to Mr. Welt was to be his lawyer. I had no intention of covering for him. Ever. So don't you dare suggest I was going to. I'm sorry, forgive my rashness. Forgive my rashness. Miss Yu, I was wondering if you could tell me about the Yatagarasu. The Yatagarasu, huh? I don't really know much about that character myself. But I do get a lot of consultation requests from companies to defend him. Requests from companies? The Yatagarasu isn't some petty thief out for money, you know. Alright, then. Perhaps the Yatagarasu is in the business of stealing people's lives? You're not very funny or witty, are you, little Miss Von Karma? Francesca, be careful about who you whip. Choose carefully, or we may be sued by... Ugh! There, I chose carefully, just like you wanted. That just now was hilarious, little Missy. Of course it was. What is wrong with these two women? Why does my pain give them delight? And so in the end, what is the Yatagarasu? I have to say I never even heard of this thief when I was in Germany. The Yatagarasu deals in information, namely in digging out dirt about backroom dealings and the like of the companies. The Yatagarasu is a vigilante who steals such info, and then makes it public for all to see. Vigilante or not, this person sounds just another criminal to me. I suppose you could put it that way too. But either way, I get a lot more clients now thanks to that thief. Sounds like Miss Yu is profiting nicely. I suppose I've gotten all I can out of Miss Yu. I should move on and speak with Detective Gumshoe now. Detective Gumshoe. Hey, it's you, pal! You're here! Youch! As am I. I don't think you needed to whip him to let him know. I didn't do it, pal! I swear on my honor as a detective! I really didn't! Your words are useless. Place my trust only in the evidence, detective. Once the investigation is fully over, she should find out that we find out that you are the killer, there will be no mercy to be had for you. Have a heart, pal! But you're not worried, right? After all, you have nothing to worry about if you really are innocent, that is. I fucking hate that mindset. Like, oh, like, you... People are going to be scared of going to prison for crimes they don't commit. Shut the fuck up with that. Oh, if you're innocent, you wouldn't be all hot and bothered. Me. Some people are just insecure. That's just the truth. Some people are just insecure. That's right. Hey, pal, go on and do your perfect investigation. Get the real killer for me, will you? I would have done so even had you not requested me to, detective. So you and Mr. Faraday had a small meeting last week, did you? What exactly did you do to make him so angry? I just asked Detective Bad the same thing myself, pal. Turns out he was mad at me because on my very first day as a detective, I reported in at my usual post instead of the Criminal Affairs Department. By the time I got down to Criminal Affairs, I was really late. And that's when he gave me that huge speech. I remember doing the same exact thing in elementary school. On the first day of school every year, it always winds up going to my old classroom. How pathetic for the detective to be comparable to a mere school child. You claimed to be standing guard in front of the door to lobby number 2 during the recess. However, when did you receive the order to do so, and from who? Early at around 3:20, and from Detective Bat, pal. Today's trial took a really crazy turn, so I was told to make sure nothing happened to Mr. Faraday. And yet something did happen to him, correct? It looks like it was a total waste of manpower to assign you to guard duty. Ow! Your words sting worse than your wit, pal. So it was Detective Bat who ordered him to stand guard, huh? Now then, Detective Gumshoe, is there anything else you'd like to tell me? Nope, not a thing, pal. In that case, allow us to take a look at what you are carrying on your personage. Ah! Wait! You can't do that! There's nothing of any particular value here. Well, my handcuffs and badge were confiscated by Detective Bat, so you know. And what is that open envelope I see sticking out of your coat pocket? Ah! Hands off, pal! Just show it to us already. Yow! Annual bonus check within $5 total. Except there is no check inside. You've had your look. Now give it back, pal. It's my first bonus as a brand new detective. I just got it and cashed it today. I literally no cash on me up until I did, you know. So that envelope is really special to me. Now give it back. He'll need rubbish like this to detect. Don't worry, we'll throw it away for you later. How could you? I'm sorry, but I need to take him in for questioning. Now, I think I've asked him just about everything I needed to. No, wait. Since he became a suspect, there's one piece of evidence I should reconfirm. Officer, I ask that you wait a second. I have one thing I'd like to reoccur with Detective Gumshoe. Understood. Please make it brief, sir. I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. I must confirm whether or not his testimony, where the crime occurred, is the truth. What's this? Judges, trial, exchange log? Appears to be a journal where the various judges share their thoughts and ideas. The real day lives these judges are laid out here on these pages. There's nothing about the court in here. It's just a page after page of unrelated drivel. Judging by the content, they're very enthusiastic about the courthouse's daily menu. It would appear that fried oysters are a favorite. I have no use for such foolishly foolish words from that foolishly foolish crowd. Someone please assure me that this is not the true state of the country's judiciary. Detective, thank you. You told me earlier that you heard no sound other than the gunshot out in the hallway. Is that correct? No mistake about it, pal. And you are also claiming that no one passed through the hallway either. Is that also correct? Yep, not even a single ant passed through that hall while I was on duty. You do realize that the lie you're telling is only making life more difficult for yourself. Huh? Oh. But it's true! I didn't see anyone go through the hallway, and I didn't hear anything else, pal. I bet the killer found a way to kill the two guys that's beyond what I can even imagine. So he intends to continue telling this ridiculous lie. Why would he do so, given the situation he's in? I believe a thorough investigation of the hallway in front of the defendant lobbies is in order. Ah, you! No! I can't believe she just kicked him. What was that even for? Did you not notice that coming? Wasn't that the child I changed money for earlier? Kids can sometimes be so cruel. It looks like she dropped something. Swiss roll. Maybe we should arrest the girl. She might turn out to be a valuable lead. believe some sort of punishment may need to be dealt the next time we meet. I believe I asked all that I need to of this man. Now for Detective Bad and the judge. We have to confirm who is correct. The judge was that Scruffface, right? I suppose we should inspect the hallway and put to lobby number 2 next. I suppose so. Shall we head on over, Francesca? So, did you see anything else? No, I don't think so. I see. Well, thanks for your cooperation. Oh, it's nothing. Just doing my duty as a defender of the law. That'll be all for now. I'll ask again if I have any other questions. Anytime, detective. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a few loose ends I have to tie up. Oh, you're that new prosecutor Mr. Von Karma recommended, right? My name is Miles Edgeworth, Your Honor. And I'm Manfred Von Karma's daughter, Francesca Von Karma. I'm set to become the sex of my genius father any day now, Your Honor. I see. Mr. New Prosecutor recommended by Von Karma, Miles Edgeworth. Ah! I bit my tongue. Are you alright, Your Honor? Please feel free to refer to me as just Miss Von... Please feel free to refer to me just as Miss Von Karma, Your Honor. As for him, just Edgeworth is fine. Apparently somebody doesn't feel that I'm worthy of a proper title. Oh, very well then. I shall call you Miss Von Karma and Mr. Prosecutor Edgeworth. Your Honor, Mr. Edgeworth is fine, sir. About your earlier testimony? Yes, what about it, Mr. Edgeworth? I'd like to ask you a few questions about what exactly you saw. Alright. After all, it is my duty to clarify my testimony as defender of the law. I greatly appreciate your cooperation, Your Honor. Now, the first thing I will need to do is figure out the detective's exact movements. Ugh. Your Honor, I'd like to ask you a few questions if you don't mind. Where were you at the time of the murder? Do you suspect me of something? No, nothing of the sort, Your Honor. Very well, you may continue with your testimony. Your Honor, it's your testimony I'm after. Oh? I had no idea you were chasing after me or my testimony. I'm beginning to sense that I might want to avoid being on a trial run by this judge. Let's see here. Now then, how should I put this? When you get to be my age, you need to pay more frequent visits to the restroom. If you go take a look through the window at the end of this hall, you'll see a small window. That is the window to the men's restroom. In other words, you can see clearly into this hallway from the men's restroom. When I was going into the restroom, that Detective Gumshoe, is it? Well, he was standing in front of the vending machines buying something from it. However, and this I couldn't believe, when I was about to exit the restroom, there was not a soul in the hallway anymore. Your Honor, if you could please calm down and explain it to me rationally. Oh, I'm really sorry. Please let me regain my composure. It was really suspicious. That was my finely honed judge's intuition said. Although, well, until the murders occurred, I just sort of brushed it off. Apparently this judge doesn't understand the concept of staying calm. That's probably all I'm going to find out from his honor. Mr. Edgeworth, may I return to my other duties now? Yes, I'm sorry to have held you up. Thank you for your cooperation, Your Honor. Oh, anytime, Edgeworth, anytime. The judges in this country seem rather friendly. Yes, if not a little wishy-washy. However, I hear that they are known to hand down very fair verdicts. Well, we will continue our investigation next time on Ace Attorney Investigations. Yeah, so here we go. God, getting kicked was so funny. It was just so out of nowhere. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to any time for more content, especially more Ace Attorney Investigations. Also, please make sure to share this video far and wide so we can get as many eyes on this series as possible. And I will see you next time.